Hi, namaste, and welcome to day 1 of our Vata Season Immersion. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in what is known as Vata Season in the ancient science and knowledge of Ayurveda, which you can think of as the science of life itself. And in Vata season, there can be a tendency for the Vata, the wind element, the space element within ourselves, to become more elevated, and sometimes leading to imbalances. And you may have heard me talk about what some of these imbalances look like: light interrupted sleep or insomnia, anxiety, feeling of scattered or poor memory, just lots and lots of symptoms in the way of which this can manifest, this elevated Vata. So in this immersion, we are going to be diving into the lifestyle medicines of soothing and calming Vata. And how we do that, working with the elements, is we're going to bring in the earth element as the medicine, as the therapeutic, the chikitsa, the therapeutic and medicines for Vata elevation. So this is going to include a lot of really soothing, calming, grounding practices for the central nervous system. And today we'll be starting with some restorative yoga. Restorative yoga being one of the most calming, grounding, soothing practices for our nervous system. And in today's practice, you will just need a yoga mat or something comfortable to lay on, a pillow for behind your head, a blanket, a folded blanket for weight. So you might have sandbags or something else that you can use to put a little bit of weight. We're going to put some weight on our bellies. As well, you can bring an eye pillow or an eye covering to block out the light, which is also very soothing and calming for many of us. And a chair or a couch that you have nearby. If you need to pause this video and set yourself up near a couch, or go and grab a chair or a couple of items, just take a moment to pause this video now. So we're going to dive into a lot of these therapeutic elements for Vata season, but know that one of them is routine and consistency. So bringing 5 days in a row in that consistent way is going to be really helpful, really calming, and really good for bringing our Vata into alignment. So you can take a moment now to grab these items around your house and meet me on your mat. All right, so here we are, and I've actually taken my folded blanket as a support beneath my pelvis here in seated position. I've got my chair, or you might have your couch nearby on one side, and my pillow over here on the other side, and my eye covering or scarf or whatever you might use just nearby. So let's take a moment to come to a comfortable seated position, and we'll start with a mudra, a grounding mudra called Prana mudra. And what you can do is take your peace fingers, your index and middle fingers, and draw them away from each other like you're making a peace sign. The other 3 fingers, thumb, pinkies, and ring fingers, will connect together. So rings, pinkies, and thumbs are connected, and index and middle fingers, the peace fingers, are extended. And then we'll bring those down towards the earth. So see if you can get all of the fingertips touching down for some earth connection, and then lengthen up through the spine and close down the eyes. Begin to soften your jaw, let the teeth part. And just feel the connection between your body and the earth here. Earth beneath your fingertips and earth beneath your body. Begin to deepen the breath. down into the belly, letting the belly expand in all directions. And on the exhale, imagine as if you could grow roots out of your fingertips, out of the base of your pelvis, down into the earth. As you inhale, imagine drawing the energy of the earth, the nutrients and support of the earth up through those roots into your body, nourishing your body. And on the exhale, grounding down deeper roots, shooting down, down into the earth. Inhaling to draw the energy of the earth up into your body, and imagine that energy circulating through all of your tissues. Filling you with nourishment and life force energy. Continuing in this way, on the exhale, grounding down, rooting down. On the inhale, drawing that grounding energy up into your body, soothing your nerves. Using the full capacity of the lungs. On the inhale, expanding belly, ribs, upper chest. Exhaling slowly, energy drawing downward, releasing all of the air from the lungs, navel to the spine. On the exhale, feeling that downward flowing energy, the apana energy. On the inhale, drawing energy up, up, all the way towards your crown. Just imagining. 3 more breaths like this. Next time that you take a big, deep inhale, exhale to draw the chin down to your chest. Imagine you could take a deep breath into the stretch in the back of your neck. On the next inhale, rolling the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And then exhale, gently rolling the chin back down to the chest. On the inhale, over to the other side. And just nice and slow, exhaling chin down to the chest. Inhaling over to one side. Exhaling back through center. Kind of feeling your way with the breath from side to side. Starting to really explore any areas that are feeling tight or tension. Imagining on the exhale you could let that tension go. Sorry. Continuing to feel your fingers rooting down. And the next time Let the right ear rolls over to the right shoulder, pausing here. Ground your whole right hand down and let your left arm slowly rise up, up and over on the inhale to lateral stretch. And then inhaling to lift your heart, reach your arm back. On the exhale, bowing down towards the earth, let your fingertips reconnect to the earth if you can reach. And then on the inhale, slowly, slowly peeling back up and open. Heart lifting, reaching the arm back. Exhaling to connect back down to the earth. Slow, steady movements. Slow and steady are the medicine for Vata season. Vata elevation. The next time that you reach the arm back, begin to circle the arm round and round slowly, slowly. You might even close your eyes and just kind of feel your way through these shoulder circles in the left shoulder joint. Deep breaths. If you're familiar with Dirga Pranayama, the 3-part yogic breath, you can bring that in. Reversing direction of the circles. Good, and one more circle. And then reaching out to the side, rolling out the wrist now. Just bringing a little bit of blood flow. Keep breathing deep through your nose. Bringing some synovial fluid into the region of the joint, the wrist joint. Reverse the direction as many times as you like. Whatever feels good here. And then bringing that hand out in front, and we'll bring this right hand and just a gentle stretch by pulling gently back on the fingertips. So you might feel a little bit of a stretch in the hand, the forearm, and just take a deep breath into that stretch here. Good, and then grounding the left hand down. Inhale, right arm up and over into lateral stretch. Pausing here for a deep breath. On the next inhale, spiraling the heart up and open, reaching the arm back, finding a stretch. On the exhale, reaching down, if you can, connecting those fingertips back down into the earth. And then inhale, back up and open. Nice and slow movements. You might imagine your arm moving through a substance like a jar of honey. So there's a little bit of resistance that you're slowly moving through, slowing down those movements. The next time that you reach up and lift to the sky, circling the shoulder joint. And again, you might close your eyes down here and explore your way through those slow movements, like you're moving through that jar of honey. Deep Dirga breaths into the belly. Reversing direction. And then letting your arm come out to the side, rolling out your wrist, round and round. Again, you might imagine those deep breaths that you could breathe into your wrist joint. Invoking the imagination and the flow of prana through the body, reversing direction. Right, and then bringing that hand out in front, taking the fingers and gently pressing away with your palm to create a little bit of a stretch through the fingers, the hand, the forearm. Once you find that comfortable stretch, just a deep breath here. Good, and then awakening the spine just a little bit before coming into our restorative posture. We'll come into a table position. And as you come into table, making sure that your hips align over top of your knees and shoulders above the hips. And then inhale, lift the tailbone, lift your gaze. Find the cow stretch, and then exhale slowly, slowly into cat stretch. We'll do this a few times, inhaling, exhaling. Moving so slowly, so mindfully. You might imagine you're balancing a tall glass of water on the spine, and you don't want to spill a single drop. Moving that slow, that mindfully. The next time you come to neutral spine, pausing here. And we'll warm the hips just ever so slightly before our restorative posture. So the right knee can come out to the side and just slowly circling this knee round and round. Continue to take those deep breaths through the nose. And then reversing the direction. Good, and then over to the other side. Round and round, warming the hip joint, reversing direction, feeling the connection of the earth beneath your palms. One more deep breath, and then lowering that knee down. Coming to a seated position to scooch the pelvis up towards your chair. So this chair, we want to come into a posture, and this is a posture that is one that we created in our moon-to-moon restorative teacher training. We call it Pragma pose. Pragma, if you're familiar with Yoga Nidra or you're in the Yoga Nidra teacher trainings, is the state of deep sleep in Sanskrit. You might hear English people or North Americans say prajna pose as well. They're saying the same thing essentially with a North American accent. It's a little tricky sometimes to say the Sanskrit words for us English folks. What we want to do is bring the thighs into a vertical position and the shins into a horizontal position with the earth. So this will be what the pose looks like, is vertical in the thighs and horizontal with the earth, with the calves. The pillow coming behind the head. And then this folded blanket I'm going to place on my belly for a little bit of a weighted effect on my enteric brain, which is a part of the nervous system. This helps to soothe and calm the nervous system even further. This elevated position for the thighs is one of the quickest ways to activate the parasympathetic nervous system in such a deep way that it actually induces sleep in many people. So it'll also induce a deep state of relaxation. But one of the reasons we call it Pragma pose is because of its ability to induce the deep state of sleep. So this is one that you can bring in if one of your Vata symptoms is light sleep or interrupted sleep or insomnia. You can bring your eye pillow on top in a moment. We're going to, before we settle into this pose, lift both legs up if possible and bring some rolling to the ankles. So just rolling the ankles round and round. Deep breaths through the nose. And then reversing direction of the ankle circles. You might close your eyes and imagine that you could breathe into the ankles, right down into the ankle joints. Good, and then releasing one leg down onto the chair and bringing hands behind the opposite thigh, interlacing fingers if you can. And the leg doesn't have to be fully extended here, and be sure that you're not overstretching or pushing past your range of motion. And then as you inhale, flex the foot gently. As you exhale, pointing the toes. So inhaling to flex the foot. Exhaling to point the toes. One more deep breath like that. And then releasing this leg down, we'll come over to the other side. Extending that leg up, interlacing fingers behind the thigh if it's available. Deep breath in as you flex the foot. Exhaling to point the toes. Inhale. Expanding the belly and exhale. Imagine you could breathe into the stretch. Good, and then releasing this leg down. Taking a moment to find your eye covering if you have one. Adjust your legs a little bit until they're completely comfortable. Notice if you need to adjust your pelvis to feel more at ease and supported by the earth beneath you. Do you need to adjust the pillow behind your head? Do you need to adjust your eye pillow, taking the time to really set yourself up for complete comfort? Allow your arms to relax down alongside the body and begin to breathe into the belly. Feeling the gentle weight of your blanket on top of the belly. Letting your whole belly expand like a balloon on each in-breath in all directions. Let the exhale be long and effortless. Letting go, sinking into the ground beneath you. Inhaling deeply. Slow, effortless exhales. As you offer the encouragement of the in-breath and feel your belly expanding to front, sides, and back. As you exhale, could you release even more effort in your legs and feet? Inhaling to massage the belly, the enteric brain within your belly. Exhaling, pelvis, whole torso, arms, getting heavier, releasing effort. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling, whole head heavy on the earth. Letting the inhale be long, slow, belly expanding. On the exhale, let that exhale be even longer than the inhalation. lengthening the inhale. Exhale, feeling the support of the ground beneath you and just sinking into that support. Allow your mind to settle with each exhale. Each inhale opening the senses wide open. Exhale, sinking deeper. Inhale to welcome sounds, aromas, sensations in the body. Exhale to let yourself sink deeper and deeper into rest, deeply resting. And if the mind wanders, gently guiding it back. Inhaling, welcoming the medicine of presence. Exhale, deeply resting. There's nothing that you need to do, nowhere to go. Allowing the breath to settle into a natural rhythm and allowing yourself to become completely effortless. Complete felt sense of support of the earth beneath you. And now, as you feel the support of the ground beneath you, take a deep breath, 2 sips of air in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. 2 sips in, letting it go. Last one. Begin to slowly wiggle the fingers and the toes, feeling the sensations of those movements. Gradually bending the elbows to remove your eye covering. Keep your eyes closed and gently bring hands on top of the eyes. Allowing a little bit more light. Letting the eyes gradually start to adjust. You might start to open the fingers a little bit more light at a time with the eyes closed. And if there's darkness in your space, if you're in the evening, that's okay. Just letting the hands rest on the eyes. Slowly letting more and more light in until you can release the hands at your own pace. And we'll slowly come to rest on the side. So my suggestion is, as you come over to the fetal position on one side of the body, bringing your folded blanket between the knees, and then just resting into that support for a couple of deep breaths, feeling the support of the ground here beneath you. Sorry about that, my stomach. And then, as you feel that support of the ground, again, let's take 2 sips in through the nose. Exhale, just releasing your weight into the earth. 2 sips in, letting it go. And one more time. And you might feel called to rest here for a few more moments. A few more moments just resting on the side. Or you might start to slowly press yourself up. Know that I'll be giving the option at the end for a Yoga Nidra. So there'll be a couple of links to some Yoga Nidra practices. So if that feels more like what you need, you can stay in fetal position or come into Shavasana and be ready for those links to appear at the end of this lesson, at the end of this class. And then as you come to a comfortable seated position, gathering hands at the heart center, closing down through the eyes, and just noticing how you feel. Noticing what feels different. You might deepen the rhythm of your breath a little bit here, and allow any of the benefits to start to land here in your nervous system, any of the calming or soothing that's taken place in the nervous system. Allow yourself to simmer in any of the feelings of calm or peace that you've created here. Allow any of the grounding earth element energies to sink in to the layers of yourself. And then take a moment to just mentally whisper the words thank you. Thanking yourself for showing up. And making a commitment to yourself to show up for these next 4 days as one of the most soothing and grounding things for Vata season and Vata elevation is routine and consistency. So allowing yourself to make that heartfelt promise to show up for the next 4 days, to continue to calm and soothe your nerves. Taking a deep breath into that promise. And then slowly letting the eyes open as you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me today in day 1 of our Vata Season Immersion. Tomorrow, day 2 will take place on Tina's channel, which I will post a link to at the end of this video and below so that you'll know where to find that practice. We will also have these practices all in a playlist here for you right on YouTube, as well as you can find them on my blog. And you can leave a comment below if you like, below this video on YouTube or on my blog to let me know how you feel, if you have any questions, and if you'd like to go deeper into the practice of restorative yoga. We'll be exploring restorative yoga again over the course of these 5 days, but if you'd like to go really deep into the depths of the practice of restorative yoga, into longer, more in-depth practices, I just want to make mention of a couple of options that you might like to explore. One is that we have a full 5-day restorative immersion coming up in January, moon to moon restorative immersion, full 5 days of restorative yoga coming up in January. So you might like to watch for that and sign up for that when it arrives. And as well, we're already accepting applicants into our next moon to moon restorative yoga teacher training, which is like the most deep dive that you can go with us into this practice, and it's a beautiful experience, and I'll post links to that as well below because we are accepting applications currently for the next training, which we do lead a couple of times per year. And upcoming in December, I have my winter solstice restoration program. Now that is not as in-depth as a full yoga teacher training, of course, but it is a 12-day program of restorative yoga as well as Ayurveda for Vata season. It is yoga nidra practices, restorative practices that go really, really deep into calming Vata, into calming the nervous system, into Ayurveda and recipes that are beautiful for the season, all of those type of things. And that will be upcoming soon. So please watch for that. As well as I'd love to just make mention of our Costa Rica retreat coming up this year. It's been a long time since we were able to guide and curate a tropical retreat. And we do go really deep into these restorative practices of not just restorative yoga, but yoga nidra in the beautiful setting of the tropics in Nosara, Costa Rica. A 1-week experience in the blue zone of the Nicoya Peninsula, right on the Pacific Ocean, surrounded by jungle. It is absolutely one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. Being able to share that with people is just next level fulfilling. I can't even describe the experience that it is for myself and for Tina, but just the vibrancy that is exuded from our retreat guests on those in-depth week-long immersions in the tropics are indescribable. So I just wanted to mention that as we've been getting a lot of inquiries. When is the next one happening? Are you ever going to be able to do that again? And the answer is yes, it's coming. So I'll post some information about that as well below. If you want to continue to just take this next few moments to rest and deepen a little bit more into calming your nervous system, I will also post a Yoga Nidra practice at the end of this video that you can click to and just close your eyes and go a little deeper into just calming and soothing your nerves here now. Okay, so thank you for joining us on day 1 of our Vata Season Immersion. We have so many amazing things lined up for you guys over the next 4 days, so I'm really excited to share that with you. Be sure to remember that tomorrow's practice will be on Tina's channel. I'll post a link as well. Namaste and have a beautiful day.